You and me, baby, and we love footy and players like Messi. So come down and listen to the Podcast FC show. Flat out. Welcome to the Podcast FC show. It's your boy Tum. I'm here with a couple of my compadres, and we had a great weekend of footy this weekend. Say what up, boys. What's going on? What up, world?
What up? It's Tiki.
What's up, everybody? It's Al.
Hey, guys. It's Farid.
No Hussey this week. What a coincidence.
Very convenient, isn't it?
Liverpool going down. Hussey all of a sudden says he's working late on a Sunday.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Shady character.
I'm pretty happy about it.
Anyway, so this week we'll kick off with probably the most obvious story. Chelsea Bournemouth.
Fresh off the press.
What a great result.
Jose out.
Jose.
Oh, man. And the Boo Boys are back.
They're
just
back.
like that.
Everywhere, man. They've been around the league, really. But none more than that fucking
Shocking game, isn't it,
Stamford
guys?
Bridge.
Great. What do you think, dude? Chelsea fan.
Tough game. I think there's a handball that's not called. I think that makes a big difference in the game. Then it's Chelsea ties the game. Chelsea doesn't necessarily lose the game, but they tie. To lose at home to a team newly promoted to the league.
Fortress is gone.
That's the track record shows it's just the form is off.
Dude, it's so hard to tell what's happening because Chelsea played well. Like, to be honest, Chelsea played well.
They played selfish.
That could be it too, and maybe it's a sign of like the times at Chelsea. Like, Mourinho is sort of, you could say, being selfish in the media a little bit, making it a little too much about himself. I know there's that blend of like trying to get the attention off his players, but getting suspended for games. Now players are throwing pennies at him. It's like, is everyone just sort of like being selfish at Chelsea? Is that it? They've lost that team magic?
Mercenaries,
no, man,
baby.
I don't think so.
Mercenaries.
I think they played well, and yeah, they may have
agree.
some players who are mercenaries, like Diego Costa. I believe is a mercenary. Just like send him to a club, send him to a team, and he's gonna play his role. He's the antagonizer. He's the guy who's gonna give you energy. He's the physical part of the game, and you end up getting you a couple of goals as well.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of players who are like that in the team. But I think we saw before the goal a Chelsea squad that was coming together that posed many threats. And like Farid brought up the handball. We were talking about the handball last week on a cross.
Yep.
This time it was a little bit of a different scenario where the defender was sliding. But naturally, as a defender, when you tend to slide out like that, that seems to be a natural position. When you slide, it's typically a natural position when you slide, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree with you, but your arm is fully extended above your head.
Yeah.
If you were standing up and your arm was above your head and the ball hit you in the arm, that would be a handball. What is the difference? He's on the ground.
Because you're sliding. There is a big difference.
Why does Ivanovic consistently turn and put his arms behind his back? Because that is a handball.
But Ivanovic has also been criticized for that. There's a balance between, natural position and unnatural. And that one, I sort of lean on your side.
For me, it's the same thing that happened last week at Liverpool. The guy jumps, he serves the ball, and he turns, his arm is, and they call handball.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's the right call last week, but then I think this week is the same. It's the same incidents.
Yeah.
And the lack of consistency.
Yeah.
Is like what bothers me.
Yeah.
If you call it once, call it here. Make the call. And where's the linesman on that? He couldn't see that either.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, it's a blown call, and unfortunately, it's devastating.
It's the game.
It's devastating effect on Chelsea.
The game is over at that point. At that point, they get a penalty. They score the penalty. Boom, game's over.
Yeah.
They go play defense, and maybe they even score a second goal.
Yeah.
Floodgates.
So do we all agree that it was it all should have been a penalty? It was a blown call? Because I'm not sure I'm ready to.
For me,
go
that's a
that
penalty. Because like I said before, if it's a natural position or not, if it's a little bit out at your side, 45 degrees, if it hits your arm, and it stops from crossing into the box, that's a penalty for me. You're sliding, your arm's extended, it stops the ball, or but you catch it like that, that's a penalty for me.
Here's the nuance in sliding and defending. Now, when you are sliding, you're on first of all, the pitch they play on is very wet, right? Very fast paced.
Yeah, they slick it.
Yeah.
Exactly, very slick. So when you slide like that, the reason why you extend your arm is to kind of steer yourself as you're sliding. You use that arm as a measurement so that you can, one, balance yourself and recover, and as well as you're moving, you can change your angle as you glide. as a defender, these are things that you do. So
are we skiing or are we is it slide
hey man, this is professional football, man. So I'm telling you, these are the little nuances though in defending. And for me, I mean, I always like to see Chelsea go down. So
so you admit it's a little personal in that?
Yeah, it's a little personal, but at the same time, I can see the argument for a penalty kick. I've seen it given.
Yeah, and I think that's where I land too. Like I can see if they say it's a blown call, I would probably lean that way, but I can also see why the ref would think it's not a handball.
Well, so that's why it's always up to the ref. You know, who's reffing that day? You know, it's like whatever he feels is.
Let's talk about the goal. You guys see the goal by Glenn Murray? Now there's an interesting call there, and it's another call. The rules state that the offsides will be called based on the last two defenders, the goalie and the last center back. So when you're offsides, if there's only one person back there, you are technically offsides.
Okay.
And it was pretty close, I thought, for that call on that goal they scored. And Courtois was clearly ahead of the ball.
Yeah,
Gary Cahill, I think, was in the goal, and the ball came back across, and it was. To me, it looked maybe a half a yard offsides.
Yeah.
And
so what we're basically saying is that Cahill, although he, in a regular situation, would be holding the man onside,
right,
because of the offside rule, and he's the last man back, he's no longer holding anyone onside. So therefore, it's almost like Gary Cahill wasn't back there.
Technically, Gary Cahill was the goalie in that instance, but he's not going to use his hands.
Yes.
Exactly.
I think that's the best way to explain it.
So yeah, you see that call
sense.
every couple of years.
And I felt bad.
So.
I felt bad. You know, Courtois' first game back. It's a big game. It's an important game at home.
Yeah.
Newly promoted side. It was important that he was there playing. And I think that's a tough way to start. That's a tough way to start.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
That's definitely a tough way to start. But as Mourinho commented the other day, saying Chelsea were missing the best goalie in the world. To me, I think the best goalie in the world punches that ball. He gets it out. He kind of slapped at it, kind of waved at it when you watch the replay of it. And to me, he didn't get it out of his safe area. Now, he did do a good job because there was a lot of bodies around and a lot of physicality in the box. But he is a big lad, 6'4", about 100.
I think he's bigger than that. I think he's
6'6". So to me, you should be punching dudes in the head. And setting a tone, and by showing that aggression, maybe then that goal doesn't happen.
I think that's Mourinho just beating his chest, man.
Yeah.
He always does that, especially when the team's down, the team's not doing well. He'll come out and say something. Oh, it doesn't matter. We have the best this. We have the best that.
Yeah.
I think it's just. I mean, I don't take anything away. I think Courtois is top 3 in the world.
Me too.
Yeah.
But
Me too.
But I don't know where, and I don't want to put anybody ahead of Neuer or.
David.
I even have to say Buffon. You got to say Buffon too.
Yeah, Buffon.
He still got respect, I think, too.
So do you think Mourinho is safe? Dude, he loses to Bournemouth.
I said it yesterday. I said if he gets fired, he get fired today for this game. It could have happened yesterday. When they lost, when you lose at home, I was like, it could happen today. Like, not that I wanted to. I go down with the shit with him, but.
Do you think Abramovich goes down with him? Like, basically, is his job safe, within reason, for the rest of the season? Obviously, if he loses another 2 or 3, we'll revise this conversation, but...
I don't know, just...
January.
You think he has till January transfer window?
January, man. January.
What is he going to buy? Who's he going to buy?
Oh, wait, are you saying in January he'll buy, re-up, or in January, if the form continues, he'll be fired?
I think in between January, we'll see, first of all, how he approaches it, because he stated... in some past interviews that he doesn't plan on buying anyone.
So you're saying he's safe until January? Because you're saying you'll see how.
No,
he
I'm not
approaches
saying
January.
that because
if
they lose from now till January, then
the Champions League game is important. The one against Porto. Yeah. Now they are playing at home. That's the next. I mean, that's that game. I think if they're out of there, he's done, and they'll bring in someone to try and win the Europa. Yeah, that's how they'll do.
But I think they're gonna finish top of their group in Champions League, and they're gonna focus strictly on Champions League, which is why I said they were my sleeper team for Champions League in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. You just don't know anymore.
Yeah, I mean they lose to Bournemouth, so I feel like it makes your argument a little nerve-wracking, but who knows? Champions League's a different game, different stage, different bonus structure, so...
That's the only thing that's going to save Mourinho this season. It's all he's got to play for right now.
Yeah, definitely.
All he's got to play for. If he can win the Champions League, everyone's going to forget this year happened.
Or even semifinals, if he bows out in the semifinals, I think obviously it won't have as an effect as making it to the finals, but, he gets to Champions League semifinal and
he covered his ass. You cover your ass if you do that.
That's it. He buys himself another year. I feel like if he does that,
and you salvage your reputation. It's like Fergie never had a year like this. Like big managers don't have. Pep's not gonna have a year like this. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's like this is what you try to avoid. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I hate to see it. Putting his face in the grass the other day.
Oh, did you see that clip? I showed you that clip on Flop Mob. Yeah, there's a clip of Jose. Look it up if you haven't seen it.
He's in the dugout.
Yeah, it's like his reaction to the goal that Bournemouth scored, and he's there and he's watching it, and he sees it, and he just goes and he goes onto the field and puts his face in the field and gets up and he looks like he's crying. He's so upset.
He's got grass all over his face.
It hurts.
I felt so bad. Al laughed at it, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
We'll tweet that out. We'll tweet that out for you guys. At Podcast
sad,
FC show.
Yeah.
I feel for him. I like Mourinho.
So that being said, man of the matches, guys. Farid?
Artur Borg for me. The guy is excellent.
Say that again, please.
Artur, what is it? Oh,
Octoborg?
No, what's his name? Artur Borg.
Oh, Borg.
Yeah, the goalie. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bournemouth goalie.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He
had a great game.
Yeah,
he made a ton of saves. He made some really good saves, and he made all the saves he should have saved. And he finished with
controlled the game for them as well.
Hey, you bring up saves. That was their second clean sheet of the season. It came away to Chelsea.
He had 7 saves.
They've conceded the second most goals this year at 30.
Wow.
Chelsea couldn't find one.
That's a great stat.
The stat check right there, everybody.
For me, same thing. Bournemouth goalie kept him in the game. Artur Borg absolutely showed up when they needed him.
For me, it's got to be Stanislas. I think Bournemouth has a player in their ranks here. He showed excellent pace, and he was very dangerous, especially in the first half on the counterattack. I think he got kind of tired as the game went on, but he was always a threat and involved whenever they were attacking. Stanislas.
That's a good shout.
Yeah, man.
I didn't catch this game, but I'm going to have to go with the goalkeeper for Bournemouth as well, Borg, just because second clean sheet of the year. You're away to Chelsea. That's something that no one really does. They always score at home. They always win at home.
Yeah.
So that's a really, you score against this team, you got to remember that for the rest of your life. You got a clean sheet against Chelsea away. It's a story, man.
No doubt.
Yeah.
All right, so next game we're going to look at Stoke City hosts Man City. Stoke takes care of business 2-0.
Shaqiri.
The losing continues.
This is Mark Hughes, man.
My goodness.
It all comes down to Mark Hughes.
Chelsea knocked down.
He's got them playing football, dude.
Chelsea knocked down and then City down. It's unbelievable.
I love it. The two blue London clubs.
But the thing about it for me is the style of soccer. The style of soccer that Stoke's playing right now.
They have it both. They have
what the hell is that?
They have the physical and the technical now.
Yeah. And they just show. I mean, they put.
And the attitude is still there. They still got Johnny Walters, to come on. If they need a bruiser, you're just gonna run.
Run and hit.
They still got him. No Roy Delap, no Ricardo Fuller. Their time is come and gone.
Dude, I love it, man. Watching the evolution of Stoke. They go from that kick and chase soccer team. Now they got the Bojan,
long throw,
who's a Barcelona product. They got Afellay, who's also a Barcelona product. Shaqiri, who's Bayern Munich. All over the place.
Jack Butland. They lost Begovic, unfortunately. Begovic is a fantastic goalie.
But Butland, what a replacement. Right. Absolutely. Just a pure shot stopper.
Promising.
Yeah, I mean, this team is so much fun to watch, man. And before the show, I was saying something that you guys found outrageous. I'm going to repeat it anyway, but I think for me, Arnautovic is a poor man's Zlatan.
Oh, my God.
You know what? I'm throwing myself on the cross. Go ahead, guys. Nail me to the cross. But no, seriously. I mean, like, as far when I said that, and I know we already had this debate, but I want to put it on record what I meant. And when I say a poor man's Zlatan, I don't mean, talent-wise. I mean in that swagger, that confidence that every once in a while he'll grab the team by the scruff of their neck and drag them over the finish line. But he can also become a bit of a head case and get silly yellow cards and cry and moan. So I think he plays a lot for himself, but playing for himself benefits the team. So
that's how he gets in the zone. That's when he plays his best, is when he plays for himself. So it's a double-edged sword.
In certain situations,
Yeah.
Zlatan, I don't know when you guys over. I
I was just waiting for everyone else.
I don't know about the Zlatan comparison.
How can you put in the same sentence? Right now?
How can you put in the same sentence?
Listen,
you can't put Zlatan. Here's what I hear.
You can't do that. And on top of that, I think you're semi questioning his character when you say that, and I think that's kind of like you overstepping the line right now. You're habitually overstepping the line right now, because I don't think I don't think he really plays for himself when you say
Who's
that.
he?
Arnautovic.
Okay.
I think Ibrahimovic in some respects does, and I think maybe that's possibly why he has that knock on him of, maybe you never won a Champions League because of that, because you didn't play with the complete team. But that's another subject.
Yep.
As far as Arnautovic, though, I think he is a team player. I just think that he's one of those guys like, give me the damn ball. Like, he just wants the ball at his feet, and he creates from there. Now, does that translate into he playing for himself?
No. When I say that, I mean like some of the decisions he makes. He's not always looking to hook up a teammate. And you could argue, okay, that's a forward's mentality. He's paid to score goals, so if he even has a 40% chance of scoring, he'll take the shot versus, making the pass. But there have been times, and he has been criticized, as being a bit of a head case in the locker room, a prima donna of sorts. And sometimes he plays like it too, when he's not feeling turned on, when he's not feeling hot, fired up. Then he'll sort of like become a bit of a complainer when he gets hit and things aren't going his way. So it's that's the only thing I mean when I say like sometimes he makes it a bit too much about himself. I mean, Farid, you can attest, we played with players like that in college.
Of course we did.
We're not going to drop names, but every person knows that guy where you're like,
Tiki.
he's good, and when he's good, thanks, Farid.
Suck it.
Not dropping names.
Tiki, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's all.
Look, any player with a man bun, like I can understand that little bit of wanting to be one of the spotlight.
The ultimate
I
man
get
bun.
that. That's what I'm saying. The forward with the man bun wants attention. He needs the ball at his feet, and that's all I'm saying it is. But hey, maybe I guess that could kind of translate into that. I think in terms of their style, their swagger, it's definitely nowhere near as skillful as Zlatan, but he does have that style that kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say swag, but
it's smooth, it's silky, but it's also like somewhat powerful.
It's a similar
like
style.
It's tough, yeah.
I got it for you.
Go ahead.
Okay, he's a poor man's Lord Bentner. That's what he is. Now I can agree with you.
But he scored
that
goals.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Bentner scored a couple goals. He scored all the time for Wolfsburg. Yeah. Come on, he's killing out there.
He scored a couple.
So if you want to compare him to that works for me.
But yeah, so we focused on Stoke a little bit. What's going on with Man City? I mean, I saw David Silva come off the field in late second half, and that was probably the first time I realized he even played in that game.
Wilfred Boney getting exposed.
Bonnie Tom.
Oh my God, dude.
Bonnie
Tom,
bro.
Take it easy.
Bro,
Yeah.
Bonnie.
I'm running out of excuses.
I love watching him play, dude. 'Cause he's like nothing phases him or something. I don't understand. Like he does. It hit his shin, go out of bounds. It's like, dude, like I just played you inside the 6. He's like, like no one yells at him. It's just like I don't know.
Because they're afraid of him.
He's like he's got bricks for feet, man. Like bricks for like hands.
You know what's hurting?
He's a brick man. Like he's made out of rocks. He's a beast, man.
I'm trying to Floyd Mayweather and just kind of smooth my way out of this situation right now. I don't think I can, bro.
Selling Dzeko hurt them, man. I'll tell you that.
It definitely did.
It's showing now.
And even Negredo, they could have. I feel like Dzeko. I feel like I feel like it was Dzeko's time to leave because he had been Aguero's shadow for a long time, and there have been like rumors of like clubs trying to sign him. So Dzeko, I don't blame him. I don't blame them for letting him go, but I think they should have fought to keep Negredo.
What about Jovetic?
Or Jovetic.
Come on,
dude. Should have fought to keep Jovetic too. I mean,
that team, you want to talk about Chelsea selling players. That team sells players like crazy.
Yeah. The difference is like they have enough talent to sort of forgive them for, they can loan
players back and forth from the other club.
Exactly. The Frankie Lamps.
Yeah, we're going to make up some new rules in this contract. I hate you, Man City.
But yeah, so what's happening, man? Yaya Toure hurt. They struggle. Company Aguero debate. Mine and your debate. Who's more important? I don't know. Do you think
I gotta say company, man.
It's gotta be, right?
I mean, how did Stoke score today? Shaqiri, we were talking turning inside the midfield. Man City had no midfield, no defensive midfield.
I'm sorry,
and then playing balls right through the middle.
Yeah,
like the defenders. Who was it? It was Otamendi and Di Di Michele, man.
Ancient man.
He's too
fraud.
slow, dude.
He's a
like
fraud.
he's gone.
His
He's a
pace
fossil,
is
dude.
fraudulent.
He's
Dude,
done.
there's like 20 yards in between center backs.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder why you're getting exposed.
Unforgivable.
Listen, I have to disagree with you guys.
Okay.
Listen, if you go down 2 goals, okay, and this team concedes 2 goals is the bottom line in this game.
Yep.
If you have Aguero, you could probably score 3.
I don't think you score 3, man.
Against Stoke,
was
man,
organized.
shot cross? You kidding me,
I think
dude?
you score 1
At home?
maybe 2 if you get lucky, so it ends up being a 2-2 or a 2-1 game.
My point is, I think Aguero's more important because I think their defense is okay. It's not great.
Whose defense?
City.
So you still
No,
lost.
they're not.
You still lost.
Without
because
company, they can't keep a clean sheet. They haven't kept a clean
you
sheet.
lost,
without company.
you lost 2-1.
I don't know.
If Aguero's there.
It's tough because like we were cracking on Boney earlier, dude. Like they don't have a proper replacement right now. They have the young Nigerian Iheanacho who comes in, who has a ton of potential, but hasn't really been on hot lately. Hasn't really scored many goals. So for me, I don't know. Long term, like it's the old saying: defense wins championships, but goals win games. So it's like a double-edged sword. What do you want? I think they have enough defenders to come together, but they need company in terms of leadership, in terms of the locker room,
Experience.
setting the tone.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about that, I'm gonna have to concede company's more important to the club. Aguero forwards are more more dispensable than defenders. So
and that's the sad thing to watch City is that they do have, like, you look at a guy like Otamendi, last year at Valencia was basically a stud. So many clubs courted him. And he comes in and now it looks like he forgot how to defend. And it's like, it's just that communication. That's how important communication is, That's why defenders, you might not necessarily see them, do anything special, but having that pure CB1, center back 1, is probably the most important thing to building a championship. Chelsea did it with Terry.
John Terry.
United did it with Ferdinand. So it's like it's so important. Or back in the day, you look at Tony Adams at Arsenal. Like you need that CB1
Jamie
and
Carragher.
a goalie, and then everything else can sort of like fall into place. And they can't even keep a clean sheet without company. Like it's so much harder when you have to fight back from
one
1-0.
striker they were facing, on counterattacks.
It's tough though.
Stoke looked good though. Take no credit away from Stoke.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
For me, City's problem, the problem with the back line is there's no continuity. It's just
Agreed.
There's a different rotation every single game, and the most important thing, regardless of whether you have a center back 1, you could have two like center back 2s, as you'd say.
Yeah.
But if they've been playing together for 10 years, you're gonna get clean sheets.
Agreed.
You're gonna get clean sheets.
Agreed.
So
Stability.
They need that stability in the club. They need that, and they keep rotating with an old Di Michele whose pace is fraudulent. Honestly,
Yeah.
he gets exposed.
He's
like,
tired, man.
It's between
He's
like him and
tired.
Murtazak. I'd like to see them race and really see.
backwards.
Turtle race. That would be a turtle race.
Seriously, but Mangala, who mentally has struggled, we know he has all the physical attributes, even technical to some degree. He can bring the ball up and build up out of the back, but mentally, he seems
still
to be
not there.
inconsistent.
I think
Yeah.
the EPL does that. I think that it's a different speed.
Yeah.
And when some players come over from foreign countries like that, they don't fit in right away.
Exactly.
Or it doesn't pan out sometimes. It's because it's a different game.
Yeah. Different pace.
They need Zabaleta back.
I agree.
I know he had the Copa, he had a long summer and everything, but they need to bring him back in.
Yeah, he's coming back soon. That being said, I think it's pretty obvious. Yeah, man of the match. What do you guys?
Yeah.
I gotta go Shaqiri.
Shaqiri.
Guy was looking
I
nice,
agree.
man.
Swiss international.
All right, so next game, we're going to look at Tom, your boys, the Goons. Arsenal takes care of business at home 3-1 against Sunderland.
Who are ya? Who are ya?
Oh, man.
What up,
Jesus
goons?
Christ.
My Goonies.
Mesut Ozil, man.
Giroud scoring 2.
Trying to tell you, this man's the best attacking midfielder in the world.
I think-
he's so silky.
11
Tiki, what do you think
I
this week?
I think Ozil heard our podcast last week and was like, I'm going to prove to Tiki who I am because he looked special. He looked like the Real Madrid Ozil that I've been begging to see, and now I'm a little nervous. But I'm glad everyone around him is sort of falling apart. Alexis Sanchez is out. Cazorla's out now. So as good a season as he's going to have.
Ramsey's back.
Ramsey's back, though. That
For
is a
now.
little scary. Giroud's firing. Walcott's starting to
So
fire.
many injuries, too.
Where's the Ox?
Ox struggled.
Ox struggled. He had a terrible game. Honestly,
Yeah,
I give him a 5.0 this game.
Yeah,
he
5 out of 10.
You know, I gotta admire the bravery in trying to early elastico, but he kind of fucked that up. And from the start,
I saw
from
that.
the start,
I was like, "You're not
it just went
Ronaldinho."
downhill. It just went downhill from there. But I think you know, we played a not so convincing game. I'm glad we got goals. We seem to find a way to score goals, and that's the one consistent thing I can say about this Arsenal team is we tend to score goals.
Mesut Ozil. Yeah, he was pretty good.
My word, he was special.
Hello. I thought Mesut Ozil played, you know, like you said, I don't think they played particularly well. But I think when you have Mesut Ozil, things are going to happen offensively every game for you. The form he's showing of late is really good.
All right, let's not all jump out of our pants. Okay, it was Sunderland at home. Okay, let's just remember that.
I like that.
This is a TCB game, and they did it. Okay, let's relax. All right.
Agreed.
Speaking of Sunderland,
but hey, but this is like these are games Arsenal needs to close up. They want to be title contenders.
I agree.
Yeah.
If they want to be chasers, man, and like
with so many injuries,
this week they took care of business, man. Like they did it.
Next week they could lose 4-0.
Agreed.
They gotta get. Hey, Wenger, open up that pocketbook, bro. Give me that money. Give me that money, bro. We gotta sign William Carvalho. We gotta sign even Steven Defoe, the Belgian international. I like him. He's a good player, man. We just need a holding mid who we could work with, who's consistent and injury free.
I think Petr Cech.
What if Arsenal go for Pogba?
No way.
And we'll win.
No way. You guys wouldn't spend that kind of money. They're talking about Pogba for 90 mil.
I heard.
Man, Arsenal hasn't bought someone in like 10 years. If they splashed all that saved up money on one player.
Past 2 years,
they splashed on Ozil and then Alexis Sanchez.
So it's trending up.
Yeah. Because you guys are in the black now. They were saying.
I've heard they have reserves. Though.
Every year they buy like one marquee. I think that's kind of their new thing. So
Yeah.
I agree with that. Nothing wrong with that?
We definitely need that. But earlier,
That's a franchise player right there. You never say that in soccer. You know, a franchise player, but Pogba is a franchise. You keep him happy.
What is he? 22, 21?
Yeah.
My God.
Unbelievable. Champions League final already under his belt.
He'll buy the next 8 years.
He'll be at the Euros.
Yeah. Gonna be a stud.
Just stay fit, man. Don't get hurt.
And dude, typically, just to go back to the game a little bit, I thought we saw an example of a golden rule in the game when Borini got a chance within the first 10 minutes.
First 3.
And I'm so glad we have Petr Cech, but this wasn't the best save in the world, honestly. Borini just kind of shot it right at him. I think it was those early game jitters where you're not expect to be on a breakaway.
You're not turned on yet.
Yeah, exactly.
You're mentally
you don't have your second win.
Yeah.
And
he's human. You know, give him a break. I think Petr Cech makes a difference for you guys. It just in terms of like, okay, you're a serious title contender. You have a serious goalie now.
Yeah.
I feel like that's always been. I mean, obviously center back is still an issue for Arsenal, but when you have a goalie of that caliber, I think it's so important.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, you missed first 10 minutes in, and then the game, honestly, between the 10th and the 30th minute is just kind of like battling, trying to fight for position. Arsenal, where the game became kind of open.
Dude, Sunderland played well for a team that has struggled and like playing away. Like the first half, like I thought Sunderland sort of held their own a little bit.
They did,
especially getting that goal right before halftime. I was like, wow, Sunderland might actually get away with a point.
But that assist from Ozil to Joel Campbell off something that seemed just like just rudimentary, just almost like just
very casual.
Like every day,
yeah,
exactly.
Fundamentals.
Yeah,
just slipping a minute. And Joel Campbell getting another goal. I'm loving to see my boy Joel doing work.
What's up with that, Tiki?
I don't know. Again, another guy who heard the podcast and is making me eat my words. But I don't know. I'm still not 100% sold on Joe Campbell. I think he'll make a good squad rotation player. I still don't see him as like a top 4 world class forward. I just don't see it. I could be wrong, and clearly, you know, he made a point today. But when I look at world class forwards, I think Joel Campbell, as far as potential, I'd rather take like a guy like Lukaku. I think he has more potential than a Joel Campbell.
See, for me, I don't know about world-class forward or even winger, because I find him to be more of a winger. But to me, he's a difference maker. When he's in the game, he's going to make a difference.
That's what I'm saying. Good squad rotation. You know, you bring him in every 2 games or so. You bring him onto the field. You start him maybe for 2 or 3 games in a row, give him a bit of a run in the squad, and then put him back on the bench for a marquee player.
It's tough for me to see how high his ceiling is.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's doing what he's doing well now.
He is.
He's got. But it's like we talk about all the time. You got to prove yourself, your form over a long period of time.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, that's a really good player.
You also got to get chances, man.
Agreed.
No, I have to agree with you.
And with the manager breathing down your neck, trust me, psychologically, that messes with his play. If he has the manager who has confidence in him and allows him to make mistakes, then he has room to grow safely. He can experiment and really fulfill or live out his full potential.
Agreed.
But if you have the manager on you, now you don't want to mess up. And now he's just playing to get goals.
So you don't want to make him play scared, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's tough at Arsenal because I think Wenger's starting, the countdown. The countdown is on to him retiring. So I think he's sort of losing a bit of patience with the youngsters, because he wants to put together a final run where he can win the Prem. And this year seems to be it, the way, the top 4 teams are playing. You got Leicester cleared 2 points at the top. It's Arsenal's for the taking if they can put it together. Right? It's crazy. Leicester,
Seriously,
2 points clear at the top. If Arsenal was ever going to win the Prem, it's this year. We don't have to worry about Chelsea anymore.
Which is why I was like, why wouldn't you buy anyone in the summer? You only buy Petr Cech in the summer. And to me, that was arrogance.
Huge mistake.
It was.
That was arrogance.
It was.
All the injuries that Arsenal sustained
Everyone knew
every
was
year.
happening.
Yeah.
Didn't everyone know this was going to happen?
Yeah.
As usual, around October, November, Arsenal players start falling apart. It sucks, and now you lost Cazorla till March.
That's the biggest blow. Him and Coquelin are the biggest blows.
It's every year, man. I don't know what it is with Wenger, but this is the year. If you ever had a chance, if Leicester ever had a chance, this is the year for them to win.
It's wide open. It's wide open.
City doesn't take care of business. United doesn't take care of business. We'll get into that. I mean, Chelsea doesn't take care of business, even though, technically they're probably done. But this is the year, dude. I don't know. Jose, I got to show him respect.
We already did this.
I shit on Jose, but who knows?
Nah, so they definitely have to make purchases in January, dude. They have to, if you want the title. You want to grasp it by the scruff of the neck. That's how you win a title. You don't fall onto a title or just kind of roll into a title. No.
Unless you're Fergie.
Even he did. You know what he did? He snatched the rival's top forward, and that same forward scored 30 goals in the league the next year.
Who's that forward you're talking about for the people?
Everyone psychologically, dude.
Who's that forward?
I'd rather not say. I plead the fifth.
No, for the people.
Fifth.
RVP, he's talking about Robin Van Persie, ex-Man United legend.
Have to rub that
We got him a ring. He came over for a ring. We promised him a ring, and boom, he got a ring.
He's Darrell Revis.
All right, so wrapping up this Arsenal game, 3-1. Arsenal taking care of business. Man of the match for me, I gotta say Mesut. He made me eat my words. I was crapping on him last week's episode, and as always, the
came back to bite you, didn't it?
Karma, yeah.
Curse of the commentator.
Yeah, to me, Mesut Ozil was special in his movement. You know what? To me, honestly, I don't mean to sound sacrilegious, but he's the closest thing that reminds me of Zidane. And the reason I say that is because he doesn't have too much pace, but he's got solid balance, and he's just so smooth in his movement and how he gets open. It's almost
it's called like a lazy flow.
Yeah.
It's very casual. I'm not trying. I'm just out here just playing football because I love it. Like, you guys can try to hit me. I'm not going to get mad. I'm sort of going to squirm past your tackle. And
I'm going to take my time, just slow the game down. But with that being said, I'm going to have to give it to Aaron Rambo Ramsey. Dude had a great game, scored his goal. I'm finally glad he got his goal, got a goal and an assist, and was playing in a central midfield role.
I gotta agree with Tum. Like, having Ramsey back was huge. I think Ozil's been good all season, but I think Ramsey having a big game like this shows that what he can do for the team, the difference he can make. So I gotta give it to Ramsey.
I'm going Ozil on this one, just for the midfield maestro. All the strings pulling them there in the middle, and everything goes through him.
Quick note. I'm just glad to say that Giroud made up for his own goal.
Yeah.
And because at halftime I was pretty heated, but then he made up for it. So we all good.
Yeah.
Giroud, 2 goals on the day. All right, and now we'll switch it over to the snooze fest. Man United versus West Ham. My God, Al. As United fans, I'm hurting, dude. I'm hurting. How are you feeling?
I'm annoyed.
Why? Talk to us. Tell us about it.
I can't even get into it, man. It's just a waste of time.
Tell
It's
us
just
how
so
you
frustrating,
really
man.
feel.
Just let the boys play. You know, take the handcuffs off them. Like, take the leash off the dog. Let him run free for a little bit. You know.
What do you mean by that? Can we?
LVG. You know, like in some areas he's too strict. Like he needs to loosen it up and just he's stubborn. And I know he's gonna be right in the end. He's gonna like rub it in all our faces. Like, but it's just so frustrating going through this period. You know, like he does it everywhere he goes. So like I'm sucking it up, dude. But it's just so uncreative that it's like there's no point to it. It's like a snake with no teeth.
For me, you guys didn't lose. That's
Hey,
that's
our
what I was
defense-
thinking.
Dude, we have a better team.
Are you kidding?
Than
They hit
for
the
those
post 2
results.
times in
Yeah, but
5 minutes.
we also had chances though. We also had chances. If we put our chances away, it was a
Fellaini.
back and forth game.
Why didn't Fellaini just put that in the net? I'm just gonna scoop it, tap it.
Because
you
he's
know?
cowish. This
Dude,
dude,
Fellaini is one of those guys
Because he's a
where-
fraud.
Just
Yeah.
roof that into the
he's
net.
not a
definitely.
striker. He's not a striker.
No, he
then-
was,
But he can finish.
dude, he was a midfielder at Everton, and he
midfielder
did
who
well
can
there. Because
No,
the team
but yeah, he was like a midfielder who can score.
gonna get
But
you, like, 8
I have no
goals.
problem with putting in Fellaini in the 80th minute. We're struggling for a goal, get some crosses in because he is a scrapper. Like when he's playing up top, some way somehow he wins balls, and I'm talking about like balls on his chest. Like he'll be competing
he
for a
brings
ball
them down beautifully.
60 yards and brings it down on his chest. So there's a time and place for Fellaini, but to start him in a game like that at home, so right away we're basically giving away a card saying we're playing long ball.
Exactly.
So what does Reed do? Reed just puts a body on him, and Reed probably has a game of his life.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable, dude. I didn't agree with Fellaini starting, but that being said, the first half he had a good first half and then tailed away.
I think that the bigger point is they give away the game plan from the beginning of the game.
Agreed.
And I think as soon as you announce Fellaini, you know, you've kind of said,
You
okay,
know the
well,
system.
we're going to pack it in. We're going to hit long ball, and we're going to play target forward. And, you know, there wasn't much soccer to be played. Like you said, it was boring.
Yeah.
Because it's just constant turnovers in the whole game.
Dude, Carrick is giving the ball away. Like it's
What was that?
frustrating.
What's that
It's-
about?
It's frustrating, dude. And I love Carrick, and I've always defended him, and the stats defend him as well. But that whole stat of 80% win or 80% success rate with Carrick, I think if you look at it, maybe the last 20 games he's played, I'll bet you don't see that 80%.
I think I'm okay with the stat and all, but like, okay, he's been that good so far.
Yeah.
But now he's 34.
He's 34. He's tired,
Dude,
and you're playing
he's-
him next to Bastian, so you need someone who's industrious
That's two of the
to
same.
do
That's two of the same
Bastian's
guys.
work.
That's two of the same guys.
Exactly.
Ander
Yeah.
Herrera,
He's hurt. Ander Herrera would have been that guy,
Ashley
but he's
Young.
hurt.
He can play anywhere, can't he?
Not center mid. He's never been. He can play anywhere on the wings. He's one of those guys. Like
Memphis Depay.
Memphis Depay is out of form.
Well, not center mid, but so you had Mata starting.
Lindegaard.
Who could drop in
Don't give
that
me
center
that.
midfield role?
Usually it would be Rooney. I don't
Well,
prefer him
He's
to.
out.
And it would be Schneiderlin who got hurt. That's why Carrick came on, and then it would be Ander Herrera.
Well, I'm just saying this weekend because you didn't like the Fellaini start. So who would you have started?
I would have
instead?
played. I would have started Depay and bench Fellaini.
Also, you would have started.
I would have started Depay.
Interesting.
Yes, dude, I have no problem. The reason why I say I back Depay being benched is because he's out of form. But now, with the hindsight being 2020, the way Depay came on with energy and with thrust and with determination, he wasn't just doing step overs to create a YouTube highlight. He was actually doing step overs to beat someone, and he was making the right decisions. There were times to take someone on, there was times to lay it off, there was times to take someone on and cross it, times to take someone on and keep going.
Agreed. He had an instant impact, and defensively he was working.
He was
and I'm
working
sure it's
hard.
because he knew that he only had 30 minutes to play.
And I'm sure Van Gaal was like, look, this is embarrassing for you. You're a marquee signing and you're not playing. You have two ways to react. You can keep huffing and puffing, doing the same shit you were doing the whole season, or you can listen to my instructions and work on defense and do the right things and show work rate. I have no problem with a player struggling. I have a problem with a player struggling and then rolling on the ground, putting his hands up, yelling at the ref. Yes, refs get calls wrong. But if you're struggling, if you're out of form, the least you can do is work for the team. And he wasn't doing that, but he did it on that.
He's growing up now. Like,
he's growing up.
He's growing up at a big club now. Like he rose as high as he could at PSV. Now he's Man United, big time.
It's a different level.
Yeah, and he's just growing up.
We need more from him.
He's getting to that maturity level.
We need more from him.
So my thing is, I know we've disagreed in the past, and so I'm saying
Agreed.
Let's put that behind us.
That's
let's
my
put that
word
behind
today. I
us.
keep saying it.
Let's bury it, and let's say going forward now, what do you do? If you're LVG, do we now see Memphis being implemented in more starting formation?
Yes. After that game, yes. I think he should start.
Get Mata the hell out of there, please.
What?
For one game.
No, you're
just for one game.
Hell no. I say get Lindegaard. If you're gonna jump get Lingard out of there.
Lindegaard's got to go.
But those are the two replace each other. So Depay was the starter. Depay struggled. Lindegaard came on as a sub, had 2 good appearances, scored a goal, and then Depay got sat down. Now Lindegaard's struggling. Depay didn't come on for Lindegaard, but Depay's on, and now Depay's hot, so it's time to rest Lindegaard. Let Depay have a run in the squad. So we're just trying to play the hot hand, and that's the problem with Louis van Gaal's system, is that it's so strict. Like Al was saying, it's so structured that to be in a system, to be hot, you have to be playing his system well, not necessarily playing well as a player.
Yeah, not giving the ball away, like passing backwards,
sideways passes.
Yeah,
so
he's happy.
I feel like that's part of the reason why Lingard has had success, because
he does that baseline.
Yeah, and he's young, so he hasn't been exposed to many different systems, so it's easy for him to pick up LVG system, because it's like, oh, I only know 2 other systems, versus trying to change Rooney. Look at Rooney right now in LVG system. He's suffering, because he's not used to playing that crappy possession, slow things down, slow tempo,
2 touches, 1 touch.
And I don't mind 2 touches, 1 touch, but like, let's put some zip to it. Spend 2 seconds on the ball.
No, like on Rooney, he's only getting like 1 or 2 touches a half, is what I mean.
Oh, okay, yeah,
like definitely. He's not even seeing the ball.
Yeah,
it
doesn't even reach
man. It's the movement. The players are too far apart, so you're playing a lot of long balls and like switching it. But by the time teams adjust.
There's no pace,
man,
and there's no pace, and that's why I say Mata take him off, man. Like, because I know he creates a lot, and like he's good going forward, but he slows the play up so bad.
I have to disagree with you, man. I think it's the guys behind him. You have Michael Carrick behind him doesn't really play well, and then you have your Bastian Schweinsteiger who doesn't play a lot of defense. Like Tiki said, your only real holding midfielder.
Bastian was good the other day, man.
Yeah,
but he was everywhere. He was every corner of the field.
Bastian and Schneiderlin work well together, because Schneiderlin has work rate, so he can do Bastian's work. Carrick and Bastian are the same player in the sense of work rate. They're too slow, so they can't do each other's work, so they can't cover. So that's why they both sort of start to lean back more and become deep lying playmakers, versus being one in front of the other.
But then that's why the transition from defense to midfield and midfield to attack,
30-yard gap.
There's too much space. And I want to just bring up work rate, because there's different types of work rate. If you look at Barcelona, Bayern Munich, their offensive work rate is very high.
Yeah, they press with their front 5, you would say, or front 4. That's what they press with.
That's more defensive. Offensive work rate in terms of the availability of the next man
when they have possession.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's always 2 options, at least 2 options with those teams, and that's what Man United, I think, needs to implement, because at times there's only 1 option, and that's the ball back, or there should be 2 options, and as well. So that's just more within a team. Looking at players, I think you look at a player like Ozil, who has a high offensive work rate. We brought up the fact that he runs more than like all the other Arsenal players.
Yeah.
Defensively, sometimes you look at him, you're like, oh, this guy's not busting his ass.
He's lazy, yeah.
Because sometimes he may be the first to lose possession, but won't be the one to chase back. But he has a high offensive work rate. So I just think it's interesting that those dynamics between work rate within the team and within players,
different kind of work rate.
Exactly.
Yeah, for me, you don't want players that. I don't know. I get a pass.
You don't want players who
don't
work hard?
I don't know. You look at Memphis Depay. He wants more work rate from him. Well, sometimes you get players.
He wants more discipline from him.
I don't know.
Does he have the lungs though? Because not every player is Alexis Sanchez. Not every player is Sissoko who's running in the 90s.
Yeah, dude. No. But we need running in the first 45 at least. Like
some players are just specialists.
I think he has a high offensive work rate, but he has a low defensive work rate.
As at PSV, yes, and that's why we signed him this year. That's the thing. Like, he doesn't work hard offensively. Like, he's not working to get open. He'll get the ball out wide, try a step over, get stuffed, roll on the ground, complain to the ref, instead of getting up and dropping back. And that's fine. Maybe that's not his role. But then defensively as well, or like on a counterattack, he just I don't think he understands the system. And you could blame the system. Maybe it's not his fault. It's just taking time for him to adjust. But either way, he hasn't deserved to be on the field the last few games. As a sub, he does. Now I'm saying
going forward,
bring him in. It sounds like something's working. The message got through. Bring him in.
I want him to do well.
We've seen the growth.
Yeah,
like he said started brilliantly in Champions League, but I mean he's been brutal a couple times. But now he's getting back to his form, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, you want to wrap it up with some MVPs of the game here?
Yeah, man of the match for me. Even though we spent a lot of time talking about United,
Do
Reed.
it. Yes, I agree.
Reed at West Ham for West Ham. The center back, he was all over the field making, game-saving blocks. He was making game-saving tackles. He was winning the ball in the air.
He nearly
hit the
scored,
post.
yeah.
Nearly scored.
Gave Martial a hard time.
Gave Martial an absolute hard time. Although Martial also gave him a hard time a few times. It was an interesting battle to watch.
A battle, dude.
And Reed came through, because Martial didn't score. Yeah.
You won.
So Reed for me.
It's gotta be Reed.
I gotta go
Unanimous. United was crap across the board anyway. So
because he shut him down.
All right, next game. Surprise, surprise, dude. Swansea or Leicester hosts Swansea. Leicester takes care of business 3-0.
Swansea host.
No, I think it was Leicester. Wasn't it at Leicester?
I'm checking right now.
Yeah, we'll have a stat check. Either way, Swansea versus Leicester. Leicester beats them 3-0. The end of Jamie Vardy's run.
It shouldn't have ended.
But the beginning of something beautiful in Mahrez.
Yeah, right.
I love it. Mahrez is like, hey, don't forget about me.
The two top goal scorers in the EPL right now, everybody, are Jamie Vardy with 14 and Mahrez with 10.
Yeah. Jeez. 24 goals between the two players.
From Leicester. And then Igalo's up there with 9 from Watford. No one from United, no one from Liverpool,
all the
no one
lower
from Arsenal.
Just surprising suspects.
That's why we love the Premier League, though. That's why we love the Premier League. It's unbelievable.
Vardy had a couple chances.
He had two good chances. He had
that
a breakaway.
Vardy had that first breakaway, and he shot it early. I think he overthought that one.
Could have went around the keeper.
Could have went around. Could have taken an extra little touch just to get the keeper to commit forward, and then slide it past him as he's moving forward. Like
maybe he was in his own head, huh?
I think he was.
That shot's Jamie Vardy style. Simple. I'm gonna shoot from 18. Cause I know I can just put it in the corner. You don't need to dribble around him. It's direct, man.
For me, Leicester City could have won this game 8-0.
Oh,
it could. If Vardy hits those 2 goals, those easy ones, those clinical ones he usually hits.
Yeah.
I think that they, that's 5. They're gonna break their back at some point, and you probably just pop another 2 goals. I don't know what's going on at Swansea, but I think Gary Monk's in a lot of trouble there.
That defense, man.
What is going on, right? Ashley Williams, he was a stud for a long time. Has a lot of respect of the professional players.
A long time
What happened?
Swansea have had times in the past where they've had dips like this.
One at a time, guys. One at a time. Go ahead.
Oh, Ashley Williams? I'm tossing it out there.
Yeah. I said Arsenal tried to sign Ashley Williams, a couple years ago. Which, I think even the fact that he was on that radar shows, he could be a big-time player.
Or a fraud.
Yeah, well, you don't know.
Or a Lovren.
Oh, boy.
But, look, I think the Swans are just struggling. I like this. I admire their philosophy, trying to go out there and play, put it on the ground, but they just don't have the players.
Is Michu still there?
No, he left, dude.
He was at Hull last time I checked.
Really?
I heard he's playing 4th division Spain or something.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible, yeah.
Yeah.
What a great story.
They need Joe Allen back.
They need something, man. Who's that player?
Gomez?
Liverpool. No, I like Andre Ayew. He's good.
Jonjo.
Yeah,
I love Jonjo.
I think, right?
That's the thing. He's pivotal to them in their midfield.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He's a wrecking ball.
Jonjo. Yeah, if Liverpool had Jonjo and Shaqiri, those are two impact players right there, man.
Yeah, because they can cover for Henderson when he's out.
We'll get to that later.
But Leicester are just a scary team. The fact that they have the 2 top goal scorers just relieves so much pressure off
in the league.
defense.
Yeah.
In the league.
Yeah.
So now we can sort of start speculating. Do you think they have these 2 players come September 2016?
Well, Mahrez was getting touted by Barca back in October.
Yeah.
Supposedly that probably bullshit, but the fact that it was linked at all means he's probably going somewhere.
He's going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You think in January he goes somewhere?
No. No, I don't see that. Maybe if someone's looking to buy him, they'd rather see him play a full season, see what he can really do in 38 games. If he makes it the whole way, then they'll buy him.
I think it's be interesting to see what that team does at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because if they sell off Vardy and Mahrez, they make bank. You can make $60 million right there, easy. I think, right?
Reinvest.
Yeah.
And you $60 million to go out, and you could just go and scout top level players all around, and
Yeah, you could pick up the Sigurdsson types, where maybe they're not Class A players, but you get a B minus, B.
But you get more of them.
But
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They have qualified for Champions League.
No, that's a different debate.
Oh,
I was gonna spin into that, but I'm saying, like, do you think in August they have Mahrez and Vardy or no?
No.
At least one of those guys is gone. At least one.
Yeah.
Which do you think is more likely?
Mahrez.
Okay.
Mahrez is more likely, but at least one of them gone.
What if they don't finish in the top 4?
So that being said, that
Doesn't
being
matter.
said, if they finish in the top 4,
Okay.
what do you guys think? Do you think they have Mahrez? And do you revise your answer? Do they have Mahrez and Vardy? Top 4 means more money. It also means Champions League.
And also means more games. And
Yeah.
we've seen in the past that can kind of be bad for a lower level club.
But now they have more money, which means they can buy players. They don't need to sell. That's my point, is that do you think they can convince those two to stay? Why are you leaving to Real Madrid? We have Champions League right here. We have the team. We have the story.
Yeah.
Vardy, we have the story. We brought you into this world. Stay with us in the Champions League against the big boys. Prove it against the big boys. That's the speech they give him.
doesn't
They
always
finish
work
in
like
top
that,
4.
does it, huh?
If they
No, it doesn't, but that's what I'm trying to get out of you.
When
What's your opinion,
when
bro?
Barca and Madrid come knocking, doesn't always work out like
Yeah.
that, does it?
The story gets put aside.
Exactly.
So what
the
do you
book gets
think?
put down.
Barca's coming for him?
Yeah, I think. Look, I think, like I said, I think at least one of them are gone. Whether it's Vardy or Mahrez, but it's most likely going to be Mahrez because he's younger, because he's more of a skill player, more of a technical player than Vardy is, and because a lot of people could use a player like that. Man, this dude is a creative playmaker, and
Scores goals.
Who scores goals?
Yeah.
So
That being said, he
anything
gets a hat trick this weekend.
Dude.
You know?
It depends what the club wants to do, If the club wants to... I mean, the club might want to just get rid of the guys just because they can make a lot of money off of it.
Yeah.
So you really don't... It's tough to tell what their mentality is and what they want to do. But I personally, I think you keep both of them. And if you can qualify top 4, you got to bring in someone real good after that.
My guess is if they make top 4, they keep Vardy.
Yeah, he'll stay though. Like that.
Mahrez goes because he's obviously going to be instrumental in getting them into the top 4. So I think Barca or Madrid come knocking, maybe even a Valencia,
I feel like
Atletico
low-key
Madrid.
other players might go too.
I don't think they go because they've made top 4. So when they
Yeah.
go, where are they going? They either go into the other top 3 teams in the league or they're not going anywhere. So why would you go from, let's say Liverpool finishes 5th and they come after, I don't know.
Simple salary bump.
No.
Is
No,
my
but
man-
now, Leicester now can afford salaries because they, like, you finish in the top
But
4.
not-
The bonus you get from Champions League is around, I think, 30 million per team just to get into that group stage. And then after that, you're finishing your TV rights finishing revenue. I think it's about 60 million if you're in the top 3. So it's like there's so much money coming in that if Mahrez wants to renegotiate his contract, you can pay him 150 grand a week. The only reason I think they might leave would be because it's Real Madrid, like clout.
That's
But
what
that's-
I'm saying.
But in the league, I don't think like
Regardless, they
you think,
can still pay him higher salaries than
Yeah.
Leicester can. Like Leicester can only afford. They have a budget for salaries. So
agreed.
regardless, though they have 30 million coming in, they can't pay what Madrid can pay. They can't pay what
Yeah.
Barca can pay a week.
Yeah.
So
it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Money
Yeah.
talks, man.
So man of the match for this one's pretty obvious, right, boys?
Yeah, it's all
pretty unanimous. Mahrez.
Easy.
All right.
Mahrez.
Quick touch Saturday. Farid. Boom, boom, boom.
The quick touch. Here I am. West Brom Spurs 1-1. Good game. Dele Ali, back in the lineup, back from his injury, scores a magnificent one-touch volley.
How about the
through,
ball?
Through the keeper's legs.
great
How about that ball?
Toby Alderweireld. You ever seen this guy play?
Dude, he's starting to look
There-
like Belgium talent, right?
There's a reason why Southampton's struggling right now. It's this guy. I mean, I think he's an attacking center back. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And
He's a baller.
yeah, the ball he served in was like 40-yard balls.
Yeah.
Over everybody's head, drops right in.
But what
Dude,
a run!
what control
dude.
by Ali.
Yeah.
Run,
What a
and then the
run.
control,
Full
and then the
sprint.
finish.
Full sprint.
That was
Dude.
2 touches.
Little
Was
luck,
it?
one touch.
I thought
One
one
touch.
touch, right?
touch.
Yeah.
Over
Yeah.
his shoulder.
Yeah.
Right,
like-
right leg through the goalie's
Smooth.
leg.
That was
Oh.
smooth though. Like the ball just it came down and it kept moving. Like
It was like he'd done it 100
seamless.
times.
Yeah.
seamless.
Effortless.
Beautiful. But that being said, West Brom, McLean, dude, we were talking about him last week. This kid's becoming a big deal for his club, huh?
Such an engine down that flank, dude.
Dude, he's a problem down that flank, and now he's adding goals to his game. That's scary.
Yeah,
That's
man.
scary for West Brom. They're gonna lose him next season if they don't get their act together. So that game finishes 1-1.
Yeah. Next up, we got Watford Norwich.
Dini.
Igalu, man. This guy. This guy. Dude, he's what is he, third in the league right now for goals? He's got 10 goals or something?
9
goals? Oh, dude, this guy, he's on Watford.
Hey, Dini might catch him.
He's on
Dini might catch him because he steals all the
3
PKs.
games in a row. Dini scored.
Yeah, it was a good game. It's a good game for Watford. They won 2-0, at home. It's an important win against another team that's going to be in a relegation battle, I think, Norwich. And, these are the games. These are the games that are important. You figure you lose to some of the top level clubs, of course, but the teams that are at your level, it's important to beat them, especially at home. So big win for Watford.
They keep it going.
Yeah, keep it going.
Keep it going. Next game.
Southampton, Aston Villa finished 1-1. I didn't catch much of this game. Tom, you get this one?
Villa going down.
Yeah, Villa confirmed.
They have to.
Yeah.
There's no fight in them anymore, man. They're struggling. They can't get it together. But they managed to scrape a point from struggling Southampton.
It's true. Finished
They had the
1-1,
lead
kind
for
of
a while
boring.
too.
Yeah.
They could have got 3 points. If they got 3, Southampton's been falling though. Last couple weeks, man.
And that's
they're
what
hurting.
happens
They're
with them.
they're feeling the hurt of losing all those players.
Exactly. Over time, but they might lose more in Mane. Mane.
To leave. It's unfortunate to
Mane's
see.
linked with Bayern Munich. He's been linked with United since last season.
How is he linked this high? I think he's good and all, but
he's mobile, man.
Is he that good? Is he that good?
Yeah, dude, you gotta watch this guy.
I've seen him. No, I've watched him play, but is he?
They're dudes who change just put me out there, coach. To me, Di Maria is one of those guys where, all right, yeah, he can be a head case, but it's just just put him on the field, he'll make a difference. To me, Mane has that potential. Mm-hmm. Maybe he hasn't proven it consistently yet, but
I think he has proven it at Southampton at his level. On the world stage, he hasn't really proven it because he's playing at Southampton. But for a club like Southampton, for him to sort of grab him by the scruff of their necks almost every game and just be a problem, even if he doesn't score. He reminds me of like a Balassi with less goals, just a problem going forward.
You got a game plan for him.
Yeah, you have to game plan. And even if you do, he's physical, he's smart, he's strong, he can be silky with his finishes. It's he has all the tools. Get him under Pep's wing and he becomes a special player.
And it was funny to see Lescott. He finally scored.
Joey. Dude, what a warrior career that guy has had. Huh? He's just battling on. Darren Fletcher too gets the assist for West Brom.
I saw that.
I love to see that, man. These old dogs still showing their fight in them.
They're still quality players, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's a beautiful sight.
It's just walk into any team, you're a starter.
That's awesome. So
Oriol. Just want to say Oriol Romeu also got his goal. Ex-Chelsea
first
player.
goal. Yeah. Bails out Southampton. All right, so that wraps up Saturday's games. The only game today, Sunday.
Who are you? Who are you?
Hussy. Where you at?
Hey, Hussy. Hey, Hussy, you listening to this right now?
So the game finishes 2-0. 2-0 Newcastle. Win at home.
What a game.
Mr. Klopp.
Alan Shearer is somewhere smiling.
Well, that's a welcome to the Premier League for Klopp. You got a team, Newcastle, second from bottom. Crap from the owner down to the kit manager. Dude, they're terrible.
Well, we talked about this earlier. Did Klopp get his tactics wrong?
He did.
Or did he get his squad on? Did he get the play?
I feel like he was resting, part tactics.
Oh, it's Christian Benteke.
I think because of the squad, he got his tactics wrong because he can't play. So basically, the tactic we feel he should have used today was that similar pressing system he used against Newcastle, against Man City a few weeks ago that got him success. Is that you're playing a team like Newcastle? They're already disheveled. They're already beaten. They've lost their identity. Why not press them even more at home? But unfortunately, you can't do that with a guy like Benteke, who's a bit more of a powerful player. So I think if he starts with Sturridge and Lallana, you have a lot of pace up front. You have guys who can press quickly. And then you don't give Newcastle the time on the ball. You control the game that way.
And this was an opposite performance of what we've been seeing from Newcastle all season.
Character.
So much character.
There was character, man.
The defense, Colaccini coming back into that. There were questions and remarks.
He played a great game.
He was a beast.
They had brought a player in, I think, back from loan, and I guess he had hurt his hamstring in training, so Colaccini wasn't supposed to get the start. But man, to me, he was the best defender out there for Castle.
Yeah. I thought Jan Matt was also nice on the right back.
Oh, the outside back, like him.
I was loving the
Dutchman.
all game, man. Jan Matt, as I like to call him. Yeah. He was up and down, man. Side tackles flying in, but I've never seen Newcastle this year play with so much heart. It was 0-0. They could have lost it at any moment.
Yeah,
but they held it together, man. The defense played outstanding,
dude.
You know,
Jorginho, Wijnaldum.
Oh my
boy!
That second finish was pretty. Did you guys see that one,
dude?
All game. Did you see him all
he was
game?
just a problem the whole game, dude.
He was the biggest threat going forward. He was the spark of life, man. Like,
how about but who starts that? The veteran Sissoko, dude.
Man, he was sprinting. He was charging center backs down about 10 minutes before that. Full sprint.
Yeah, man.
Full sprint from like the right sideline to the left sideline. Like he did it like a half moon arc. And and then 90th minute comes around. He's still got enough in the tank to bulldoze.
Dude, that ball by Sissoko,
Moreno,
inch perfect on the ground in stride.
As soon as that he broke that tackle, though, you saw the pass and you're just waiting for him to drop it. Dude. You know, it's like, when are you gonna play it? Oh, yeah. When are you gonna play it? There you go.
I think Sissoko. I sometimes look at him and I just feel sad that like he was never really able to get over that hump as far as like reputation of being like a Tottenham level player or Everton, or you could even say Liverpool, maybe Arsenal, you know, that kind of powerful driving forward. And it makes me sad because he's such a talent and I just feel like it's too late, you know, his career is sort of on its way down.
But for me it's weird because sometimes he's a French international.
Yeah, they bring him in. They call him in sometimes.
So is it that Czech Tiote syndrome where it's like, all right, you might be able to get on that next level, but you might miss your boat?
No, see, I think Newcastle's just hurting him. It's hurting his development. Like it's his psyche. Like it's fucked with him. You know, like you're losing week in week out, dude. Like you're not the player you used to be. Like your passion like is taking a hit. Your enthusiasm for the game is taking a hit.
Yeah, your confidence as far as like I used to be.
Am I playing well or not? Like I can't tell.
I used to be on a club where, you know, people game plan for us. Now I'm at a club where we game plan for other teams. You know, even that psyche sort of changes you, and I think that's part of the reason he sort of went to a club thinking that maybe they were a 5th, 6th type level team, and now they're looking at relegation. You know, they've been playing so bad, so it's like. Yeah, you're right. I just
his ability is there. Like his ability, like when he first came over, I remember seeing him in January. He was playing Patrick Vieira. You know, big guy in the middle, up and down, pushing people around.
And he can play in so many different positions. You can put him in the middle. You can put him out wide. You can put him at a right winger. You can put him at number 6.
Have him sitting in the middle, just, you know, cleaning everything in front of the defense. Or have him as like sort of like not a number 10, but like a more like a box-to-box.
Just a true utility player who could really be used. To me, he's a guy who may not start on one of those top 4 clubs, but he's a great squad rotation.
Is he a Tottenham player? Like Tottenham player? Tottenham level, Everton?
Yeah, I'd say Tottenham. Like a Tottenham, maybe
Southampton
Liverpool
could use him, man. If they go down, I want Newcastle to go down.
No way. Did you see the fans today? I was so happy. The fans were hugging each other. Alan and I paused at one part. There was a guy holding his kid up.
Baby,
he's holding his kid up and he's shaking his kid. The kid's smiling. I was so happy. I was like, this is why I really like Newcastle. You know?
Oh, you see the shirtless dude with the scarf?
No shirt.
And he had the tattoo on, the Newcastle tattoo. Yeah. I mean, that's why I like these guys.
Fans, dude. They said 90th minute, fans started walking out, and then they saw 5 minutes extra time. They came back and sat down. They're always leaving, dude.
Yeah. So it was. I was happy to see.
Where's fans?
I was happy to see Newcastle win today. Man. I think that players on Liverpool today really let the team down.
Joe Allen,
fraud. Get him out of here.
Benteke,
Firmino.
Joe, I give the ball away. Allen, it's unbelievable, and I don't think Benteke. I don't think Klopp gets his tactics wrong. I think the team plays poor. You know, they want to play. You know, they thought Newcastle doesn't really have a strong back line. You know, they're conceding goals all the time. Like Benteke, go out there, we'll get you the ball. You're in. One, boom.
Yeah.
You know, overpower, take over. It's gonna be an easy game. This guy doesn't show up. He doesn't score goals. He's diving on the top of the box.
Yeah.
And, I think that hurts. I think he's expecting an A-caliber player to be there, and he's not there. Well, he's showing everybody that.
You have to look at who they have in their team and what they're working with in their roster. They have a very young team, very talented. So last week, Jordan Ibe was able to kind of carry the team.
Yeah, great.
Replace Coutinho after he goes down. remember, guys, he's 19, turning 20. I think this week, the next week coming up. So, with these players, they're going to be inconsistent.
Yeah,
they're going to be inconsistent, man, and that's what we're seeing. I think to me, it wasn't so much his tactics because I see where his head was. He wasn't trying to high press him. He had fatigue working with him, as well as the commentator mentioned, sometimes when you're playing a lesser team, they can ping that ball over the top. To me, I think a Divock or Origi possibly should have got a start, should have taken a gamble, or Sturridge if you're not going to start him. Someone with a little bit more pace up there.
I'll be honest, I didn't like the Joe Allen over Lallana. That was puzzling to me.
Well, yeah.
I didn't really get that one.
I think
when he came in, he looked great.
I think you touched on him because I think it was fatigue. You know, they had a cup game during the week as well, so it's like I think he was resting. Lallana's played, basically started every game since Klopp has taken over, so I think he was being careful with Sturridge and Lallana, but I don't think going forward he can afford to be careful with both of those guys at the same time, unless Coutinho's in the squad.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
No, I agree. But Lallana, man, this the midfield was so weak today. Liverpool, there was no disaster, man. Like, we're talking about how beautiful they've been playing since Klopp came in. None of that today. Players weren't there.
Yeah.
They couldn't play the system, and they couldn't play that quick. They were just, tired, one thing, and then just Joe Allen, man.
Yeah, I saw the perfect headline that summed up the game today. I think it was on ESPN FC, and it said, today, Klopp's team looked like a work in progress for the first time since he's taken over. Yeah. And this is what we expected when he took over, a performance like this where it wasn't terrible. Yes, you lost 2-0, but you can't say Liverpool played terrible. They just didn't play well. Mm-hmm. They were sort of flat. They were flat Liverpool. Yeah. And we are all shocked because we haven't seen that at all since Klopp came in. So it's what happened today? What? And knowing Klopp, he's a genius. We won't see a flat Liverpool side like this for at least a few games.
No, it's not going to become a recurring thing or something. It's probably a one-off, but
it was interesting.
It's just a reality check. It's
welcome to the Prem.
Yeah.
So you're on the bandwagon of Liverpool making the top 4 Champions League spot?
Hell no.
Hell no.
I don't want them to finish as top 4.
I think they'll have a push.
They could definitely.
But I don't think right now I could sit and say
it all depends on January, man.
And
it all depends on January. I think that you could see that
the Christmas
team.
period too.
You could see
Don't
that
forget the Christmas period, man. That's 4 games or 5 games in 2 weeks or something crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's a lot of points. You can make a big gap there if you want to.
You don't know what he can do. No. And you don't know who he can buy or attract. And I think you're going to see a lot of players going out. And I think you're going to see.
Is Benteke staying?
Yeah, I think you invest too much money in him for that to get rid of him.
But I think it's not Klopp's man. I don't know.
I think Klopp's gonna give him another season. I don't think he'll give him his starting number 9. I think he's gonna go out there, maybe try find someone to push Sturridge or actually to start over Sturridge. But I think he keeps Benteke in there as utility. I'll work with you. I'll see if there's something there because we've seen Benteke at Aston Villa. There's talent there. It's just does Klopp want to tap it? And I don't know. So far, I haven't seen the old Benteke. And I'm not sure how old he is. Is he on his way down? So, I don't know. But I think he keeps him as, a squad player.
Yeah, he's lazy, though.
He looks about 40, man. He looks old. He looks like Idris Elba,
He does. He definitely does.
He's old, man.
All right, so wrapping this.
You got to start Origi before. Origi coming off a hat-trick, man. Just play the guy. Newcastle, man.
Van Gaal would have started him.
That's a tough call.
Yeah, dude. The guy, he might have been tired, but
hot hand.
That's the last thing for me. Just play Origi, man.
That's the thing, man. Yeah.
Benteke's so undynamic, man.
He's one-dimensional.
One-dimensional, dude.
But he's not though. He's 1.5. It's weird.
He can be more. He can be more, but I think
only inside the 30 of the other, the opposing 30, 30 yards or 20 yards. That's where he operates. Or
he'll do random smooth shit though.
That bike against United.
He's just he's an odd player. So maybe give him one more year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think Klopp will try to tap into that talent, see how he can use it. Maybe on certain games, when he wants to sit back and post up a little bit, have a powerful forward.
He is the starting Belgium forward. He starts over Lukaku. So
I don't know if that's going to continue the way Lukaku's playing, bro. Lukaku's looking scary, and I think Origi will leapfrog him too while he's at it.
We'll see.
Man of the match?
Yeah, man of the match for this game. Al, you kick it off?
Gotta go Jan Matt, my boy. Setting the tone down that right flank, man. He epitomized the whole Newcastle team today. I've never seen them play with heart, really, especially of late, down and out, second from bottom. But
defender stepping up for sure for Castle.
Great game, man.
Yeah, for me, I gotta go Jorginho, Wijnaldum. Like just.
Heck yeah!
The runs from the middle, the calling for possession every time. He's not afraid. He's playing fearless football. Like that's what Newcastle needs, a leader like that. They used to have that in a Johan Kabay. Like when our backs are against the wall, we always have a guy who, no matter who we're playing, he wants the ball. And Jorginho runs at players. He scores goals today. Like one of them was off Skirtle, but. We know that was
he created it. Yeah,
you gotta shoot to score, man.
Exactly. So for me, it goes to Wijnaldum.
I mean, I agree, but I have an honorable mention.
Okay.
My man Sissoko.
Yeah.
The engine room, man.
Who else was running in the 90th minute? He was the only player on the field trucking it in the 90th minute.
I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
So much heart, so much character. So I gotta give him a shout out. But Wijnaldum, my boy, he's nasty. Potential.
Yeah.
Wenger sign him.
Yeah, Wijnaldum for me too. And the guys, he was the one player I think that on Newcastle they really stood out above. I mean, I think a lot of players had good games, but he really stood out. He made a difference in that game.
All right, so usually we'd wrap the show up right now, but the game tomorrow, Monday, as we record this on Sunday night, tomorrow's game is just too juicy, and we figured we want to touch base, maybe get some thoughts out there. We got Everton hosting Crystal Palace.
Ooh, it's going to be a good one.
Come on, Palace.
It's going to be a real barn burner,
Dude, Everton looking good. Everton sort of threatening to get over that hump of maybe a top 5.
They lived there.
Yeah, but this year they actually look good. Martinez has them firing.
Every year they get better. And they kept Stones. They kept Barkley, man. Like, that was huge for this year.
You can say that's probably the non-signing, the biggest non-signings of the year.
Like,
to be able to
for a long time, any team, like, to hold, like, Southampton losing everybody, like, because everyone knows those players are going to go on.
And Chelsea wanted them bad.
Chelsea,
bad.
Yeah,
they wanted them
40 million Stones, man. Cahill, Stones, and Terry, that's your center back options. That's beautiful.
That's perfect.
Ease Terry out the door. Or kick him, on his way.
I prefer to kick him in the teeth.
But
dude, to me, this might be like the fastest matchup. Like they might be the fastest players on the field at one time in the English league than we've seen this year. Because who do we have? Bolasie, Zaha, and then
De La Feu.
Everton side De La Feu,
Barkley,
Lukaku. I mean,
Kone's pretty quick.
Kone, even Naismith when he starts, Lennon if he's healthy. So the amount of pace that's going to be on this field, I'm predicting a ball.
And the managers, man, they play attacking football.
Yeah.
So it's not going to sit back. We're going to go at them.
So it could be a shootout.
Quick
it could
players
be 3-3.
playing fast football. It's going to be
the defenses have been leaky.
That being said, like I'm afraid we're gonna see a bit of a stalemate, a little too much respect because they're both
neutralize
at the same level. These two teams, and they both know 3 points is almost like getting 4 or 5 points over your opponent because you get to knock them back. And come the end of the season, I think these two teams are going to be touching, basically. One's going to be above the other.
I think there are too many players in too good form in this game.
I hope so.
Lukaku, De La Feu on fire right now.
Yep.
Zaha, Bolasie on fire. And they're always
dishing.
Yeah, random defenders scoring. Like this, I don't know. I see a couple goals.
You guys want to do some predictions for the game?
Yeah, might as well, right?
All right.
You kick it off for
5-5.
I got 4-3 Everton.
Oh,
4-3. Okay.
Yeah.
4-3 game.
I like that. I'm gonna write these down.
Yeah,
Bring them
let's
up
go.
next week.
Yeah.
Right.
So Farid's got 4-3 Everton.
What do you got, Tom?
I got 3-2 Everton.
I'm thinking 3-3, but like I'm being realistic, so it's gonna be 3-2. CP.
I love it.
Whoa.
It's my
I'm
team.
thinking.
Gotta support my Eagles,
Don't take
we
into
go.
account the Zaha hate from Man United.
I'm going.
No pressure.
Going 1-1. 1-1.
This dude,
1-1.
No imagination.
1-1.
No barn burner.
No imagination. You copied him.
All right, so quick honorable mention story this week. Huge story. Gary Neville
G-Nebs.
being signed as sort of like a caretaker manager. He was signed to be the manager of Valencia from now until the end of the season.
That's a big deal, man. That's Valencia. That's not Real Sociedad. That's not, Betis or Celta Vigo. Valencia, man. That's no disrespect to any of those clubs, but like this is
It's a huge gamble.
Speaking,
That's
man.
a gamble.
That's why, man. Like,
Dude, like so do you guys agree with Like, who do you think is the winner in this transaction so far? Like, just based before anything starts. And then 2, do you think it was a good move?
Yes, and yes. I think it was a good move. And I think just judging from the game we saw Barcelona against Valencia playing, they held them to 1-1. And they had the trio playing. So I think Gary Neville, as a defender, he was a great defender on a high level for a long time. I think Valencia is taking a gamble because he is an inexperienced coach, but at the same time, he's more of a defensive coach. It seems to me as though they're trying to bring something different, and I don't know if he's got connections, because I think Phil might have been over there. Phil was over in Spain. I don't know if that's how he got the job, whether he just has that connection, but to me, I like the signing. I think he's playing with house money. I think Gary Neville's playing with house money, and Valencia's taking a gamble. They could lose their money, but as far as for him, it's a great experience and a chance to really prove himself.
So I think it's a big step for his career. Like, this is a serious team, you know? He's not going to be just coaching academy stuff or helping out here and there.
Head coach, man.
I mean, he's in manager. He's in charge of everything now, you know?
It's huge.
It'll be interesting to see how he does. He's going to be all of the tabloids. He's going to be annihilated by that. So he's got to be ready for, I think, the big times.
See, I don't know. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of players retiring and then 2 or 3 years later they're managing big clubs.
Because it makes you not like them sometimes. I know.
Not even that. It's just like I feel like the managerial position is such a position of wisdom, and like it's such a craft that
Di Matteo.
Like, okay, where is he today?
He won a Champions League.
He's got his Champions League. That's the end of the conversation.
No, Drogba, Lampard, and Terry won the Champions League. Those guys basically told them.
Who got the medal too?
You know, they told them the starting lineup. Drogba was relax, Di Matteo, we got this. Like, you just relax with your tactics.
Listen, on the score sheet it says the coach is Robert Di Matteo.
Look, there's exceptions to every rule. There's no question. I'm not saying this is a bad sign. I'm just saying, if I'm a Valencia fan, I'm not happy about this. A guy who has zero experience. Yes, he's coached the England national or been Hodgson's assistant, but you're looking at one of the biggest and storied clubs in Spain. A club that's produced David Villa, David Silva, Otamendi, and you're gonna give it to a guy who has no managerial experience at this level. I don't know if I agree with this, but I'm happy for Gary Neville. As a Man United fan, congrats, Gary. I hope he kills it. I'm rooting for him.
One love, Gary.
As a Valencia fan, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, as a Man
don't say sorry
hater,
yet, man.
Gary, you can suck it. But I do respect him, man, honestly. And Valencia's sitting in 8th place right now in La Liga. So above them, they have Atletico Bilbao, Deportivo La Coruña, Villarreal, Celta Vigo, Madrid, and Atletico Madrid and Barcelona up top. So I think, again, they gambled. It was a little bit, maybe it was a move of desperation. But regardless, I think they're trying something new. If I'm a Valencia fan, I may not be happy because, in terms of ambition, it's not the coach who I want. It's not that one world-class coach. But I'm happy that the board is doing something. They recognize that there is a problem and they're trying to do something about it.
I mean, you have a guy like Ancelotti who's available right now.
Is he gonna coach Valencia though?
No, I think that's below him. I don't know if they approached him, and I mean, you probably right.
How are you gonna coach Madrid and then go to Valencia? Like, I don't. That thing.
No, that's a step down for Spain. Yeah,
I'm saying,
I guess so. Yeah.
Like, it's
harder.
Just, I feel like there's more.
Coaches.
I know, but
Carlo Ancelotti he wins most Champions Leagues of all time. Like, he's not going to go coach at Valencia.
Don't remind us of that
picking
crap.
just saying.
I'm just saying he's not going to. He's going to coach Real Madrid.
No, that's
Barcelona.
a good point.
He's going to coach Bayern Munich. If Pep leaves, I'm sure Bayern Munich will be all over Carlo Ancelotti. There's no doubt.
I will say he'd probably do a great job at Valencia.
He was great at Chelsea.
If he went to Valencia, he'd do a really good job. But
for sure. But he's not having it. He'd rather be on vacation.
No, that's a good point. So Ancelotti's a bit of a shit. I don't know. You mean to tell me on the planet like Gary Neville was your best choice?
Yeah, I feel like they should pick a Spanish guy. I feel like that's something they would. I don't know.
I love that. I don't know. To go to Spain, man. I love it.
I'm glad Gary got the job. Put it that way. Like, I'm not saying he shouldn't have. I just think it's a little crazy.
To me, I think we have a different argument once we talk about players who retired kind of recently and began coaching, because I could argue that they know certain things better than
coaching or managing.
Managing. They certain things they're better at already than a Wenger, than someone else. So I think there are people out there who have the raw talent to straight coach, but the managerial aspect of it, the paperwork, the book side of it, that's where
the man management.
The players, yes, even I think some players naturally have man management.
I think, but it's a different level of man management. Perfect example. Look at Roy Keane. As a player, man management, you'd rate him 100 out of 100. Man management, leader, getting everyone on the same page, 100 out of 100.
I don't know.
As a coach, no.
What do you mean by what do you mean by man management? Because I wouldn't, because Roy Keane's got a temper. So
no. As far as
getting the best out of people.
Getting the best out of his teammates, that man management.
As a player or as a coach?
I started as a player. Man management,
okay.
He got 100 out of 100.
Okay, I got you.
As a coach, you thought he would transfer over that man management, just in the sense of being able to rile up people to get the best. He wasn't able to translate it.
Well, he got Sunderland promoted. Like, so to a certain degree, he could.
He could.
It did translate.
At a top 4 club level.
Look, some can.
top 4.
At a Valencia,
my only point is
That's
some can, some can't. And to say that Gary Neville, there's someone better out there, there is. I agree with that. But maybe he's the next dude up. Maybe he
never
can't.
know.
Just saying.
I'm saying that risk.
Pep Guardiola was a great player, man. When he played for Barcelona for a long time. He stepped away from the game. He came back.
No, but what was he doing when he was stepping?
He did his work.
What work was that? Don't gloss over it.
Was Gary Neville just sitting on his thumb this whole time?
No, he was coaching for England, not at a club, managing day to day. He was coaching for England with Hodgson as an assistant, not at a club like a Ryan Giggs, like a Phil Neville.
But he was still involved in Man United before that, right?
No, not as like an official capacity, because he went punditry, he went commentating for Sky Sports. So he didn't. When Moyes came in and he brought back some of the Scholes and all those guys, he didn't. Gary Neville was being a pundit. And
all I'm saying is he's prepared for this. It's not like he's just jumping in like,
I'm not saying
never
that.
done this at all before. Like, he's coached to some degree, and there's a reason why he was appointed, no? So my only point is some can, some can't. Give him a chance to see if he can.
I'm saying my point is top 4. It's not a top 4 club's job to be giving people risks. That's an Everton's job. And then you pluck Martinez. Like a Martinez, he's going to get plucked by a top 4 club one day. He's just a genius.
But currently they're sitting in 8th. They're not a top 4 club.
He's plying his trade right now. What I'm saying is, in 5 years, you don't see like an Atletico Madrid plucking Roberto Martinez, kind of like Moyes plied his trade. Man United plucked him. Now, it didn't work out for Moyes, but that's how coaches are made, is that you ply your trade at a certain level, you get experience, you get plucked. That's a safer bet for a top 4 club.
But do you think Zidane's going to do that? Because I don't.
He's plying his trade right now at Madrid, coaching the Real Madrid B team.
But he's such a great player that he kind of also gets an exception. Right after he retired, notice he didn't
take that exception. There were teams saying, come be a manager, come be a manager.
Exactly, but that was him. He wasn't ready. My thing is, maybe Neville feels like he is, and I hope he's not. Because I hope he bursts out in flames.
Well, did you hear what Neville said today? You hear what Neville said today about? So he's making his short list now for Valencia, and he comes out and he goes, he goes, we need to get James Vardy.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. And he's currently valued at $25 million. I think that you bring in Gary Neville, and he's already trying to attract a big name talent from England.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe this could work.
But have English players found success in Spain?
That's an easy one.
That's the question.
Bex, McManaman,
Steve
Naka. The fact that you just name a couple is scary stuff.
Michael Owen, Graveson. He wasn't English, but Graveson.
Oh my God, Graveson, the hammer.
He was Danish. He was an idiot.
But anyway, so man, I hope Gary Neville finds success, and in turn, I hope Valencia finds success. I'd love to see a shake-up in Spain.
Suck it, Neville.
Final thoughts, boys, before we wrap this up. Glory. No?
Come on, you Blues.
Goons, get it done.
All right, guys,
Keep it rolling.
Wrapping this up, it's been episode 8, Podcast FC. Thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. Tell your friends to subscribe, guys. Give us an iTunes review if you can. That will go a long way. Maybe we'll start working on little gifts, little prizes for people who give us subscribers. Maybe some T-shirts. Who knows? But
free T-shirt.
We need to know you guys are out there. Show us some love on Facebook. You can find our page, Podcast FC Show, on Twitter, at Podcast FC Show, Instagram, at Podcast FC Show. I think you guys are seeing the trend. Our email, podcastfcshow@gmail.com. Anything else, boys?
Blues.
I think that's
Go
it,
ahead,
man.
goons.
Glory, glory, motherfuckers.
Smell you later.